Yes, so I will just present our activity in transparent OPV and in Tech4Win, and present some of the industrial challenges for the scaling up of transparent OPV devices that are used as infrared devices in Tech4Win project. So just a few figures. So Armor Solar Power Film is a French company, which is a subsidiary from the International Armor Group. Armor is a French company with 2,000 employees worldwide, and it's a world leader in thermal transfer consumables. So it's wall-to-wall coated films to print barcodes, for example. So the main activity of Armor is the thermal transfer and the printing. We are involved in circular economy as well and in new technologies. And part of these new technologies is the development of organic photovoltaic via Armor solar power films. So why OPV for such a company? For the thermal transfer film, we are coating in a wall-to-wall at really high speed, till 800 meters per minute speed. And our expertise is in formulation and coating. So we keep this expertise in formulation and coating to develop some organic photovoltaic film in the same schema. Meaning that we already have installed in Nantes, in France, a large-scale production line for OPV that has a global capacity of 1 million square meters per year for OPV films. So the properties of OPV, everyone knows, lightweight, flexible, and can be semi-transparent with a potential for higher than 30% of light transmission. And that's from that is coming the interest of OPV for projects such as Tech4Win in Windows. OPV so is used in structures and buildings, but also can be used as a sensor and in urban furniture, for example. And here are just some few examples of first applications on buildings that we had with OPV. But as you can see, we are using OPV as a design and architectural tool, but still at this point not really transparent. We can have some really aesthetic effects, but if we really want to go to Windows integration in building, we need to get rid of part of this design or to go to really transparent device. So that's why the interest of Tech4Win is great for the market and mostly for the BIPV and window markets. And when we go to this kind of product with transparency and windows, there are quite a lot of industrial challenges that are to be taken into account. So I will just go through some of them, not all of them, because we will find some during the project, I guess. So just as a basis, what do we do today as transparent OPV? So at this point, we already can do some semi-transparent OPV. It's quite a common thing on a semi-industrial scale. We can have some different colors, for example, blue, red, green, gray, but always we have color samples. We have a transparency that is for the AVT between 20% and 30%, depending on the architecture and on the color of the devices. So it's quite nice looking, but still not enough transparent to be integrated in a window. And quite important thing is that we have a pattern of electrodes and interconnect design. So we can clearly see on On the pictures that we have some blank lines and we have some patterns, meaning that the area of the device is not fully homogeneous, and there is some aesthetic loss in this kind of devices. So there are different challenges to overcome. Some are more materials based, so based on the layers and materials that are used in the stack, and the other ones are more process related. But as I begin to explain, the main challenges are first, if we go from a usual industrial device on the left, first one is really to remove the grid structure design that we usually are using in OPV today. Second one is to remove at the maximum the color and to really work and optimize the CRI. And the third one, not the easier one, is to decrease the area of the interconnect from one cell to the other. And at the end, the idea is to reach a close to colorless device with nearly not visible interconnect and no pattern for the electrodes. If we go to the materials challenges for the transparency, so one of them is the use of the transparent conductive electrode. Today, we are mostly using in the industrial scale a stack of ITO, silver ITO, so IMI, which absorbs in the near-infrared region above 800 nanometers. There is a slight absorption. So when we use transparent OPV materials, polymers, we lose some of their absorptions in this area due to the transparent bottom electrode. So this impacts the JSE and the power conversion efficiency, and the impact can be between 5 and 10%. Regarding the top electrode, so that's what I just presented previously. No design is needed, so we need to develop new electrode concepts. So we heard a lot about ITO or sputtered or with pulsed laser deposition in the previous talks. Another solution can be to use transparent nanowires or other concept that has to be developed and transferred to the industrial scale. Regarding the active materials, mainly the polymer, so we want to go for colorless materials. The easier way to do that is to work with polymers that absorb in the near-infrared area of the spectrum. But then, based on the physics of these materials, we see some difficulties to keep high VOC and to keep high JSE potential as well in for the device. So performance-wise, it's not such easy. And in parallel, it has already been discussed that we need to optimize the CRI to have a color that is not too yellow or too reddish and so on. One big interest if we develop this kind of materials is that with materials absorbing in the near-infrared area, we have an additional functionality, which is its decrease, combined with the photovoltaic effect, so of big interest for building, mostly in the really hot areas. And one drawback for the transparent developments, most of the reference performances for OPV are evaluated at first stage with evaporated top electrode, and we know that we lose a lot of JSE when we switch to a transparent, fully transparent top electrode because of the loss of the silver reflectivity. And then it's important to have some light management strategies, like we saw in the previous talks as well. In terms of processes, there are a few challenges also that have to be taken into account during the scale-up. First one is the dimension of the product. It needs to fit the market. In Tech4Wind projects, we are targeting window, and to make some devices that are ready and fitting the window size. We will need at one point to build an equipment that can print with a 2-meter width devices, and 2-meter width slot die coating is a real technology challenge at this time. I'm not aware of any equipment doing that these days. Then the interconnects, as I explained earlier, we need no or close to no design in the cell interconnect. Meaning that we need to really optimize the patterning and the laser patterning techniques that will be used for the production of the devices at large scale. The transparency of the layers is also related to their thicknesses. So we need for transparent OPV to lower the layer thicknesses. And then related to that, we really have to reduce the defect density. Just as a reminder, each OPV layer is really thin in OPV devices, between the 10 and the 100 nanometers range for each layer. So every time we have a microscopic defect on one of the layers, we can create a shunt and then have some issue on the performances, on the lifetime, or on the safety of the product if we have some burns that can be a real issue. Meaning that we really need to have a coating capacity with no defect to have the possibility to decrease each of the layers of the devices in a safe way. Then for window application, we will need to make a glass integration of the different components of the window. So the products that we developed will have to undergo the lamination processes to be laminated in glass, meaning that there are some constraints in terms of temperature and pressure, among others. Coating yields need to be improved to avoid as well any defect and any failure in the devices. And the last point is linked to the connectics, the last point in the list here, but I'm sure there are other ones. But the connectics is also a challenge that has to be taken into account at the beginning of the project, because we will need to go towards invisible or really hidden module connectics. So it's really a big challenge and really interesting and enthusiastic development for industrial partners as well to go to this kind of development. And to answer this few of these challenges, the Tech4Wind strategy is really to target for high transparency, optimize CRI materials for each layer. The strategy is also to ensure lifetime with the integration of the UV device. Lifetime for OPV is good at these days, but if we need to really target the lifetime of a window without any failure, it's good to really assess this lifetime strategy really early in the project. Then the near-infrared absorption and the loss of reflection due to the transparent top electrode will be assessed with the use and the integration of a Bragg reflector in the devices, so allowing us to really increase the performances of the final devices. And we integrated in the project the design of dedicated industrial equipments that will allow to really produce at the demand the final product on the real size that is needed for the final applications. So that's just a few of the strategy paths that need to be assessed in the project and for the scale up. But maybe in a webinar later on during the project, we can talk about some other ones. And that's all from me today. So thank you for your attention. And if you have any question, I'm happy to answer.